All right, guys, here we are at Origins, and we're playing our first game of Hero Realm. Now, right off the bat, this game is just like Star Realms. You're going to be putting the 5 cards out in the trade row. You're going to have a lot of symbols that are very... I mean, if you're used to Star Realms, guys, this is just going to be such a simple transition. I mean, this is an outpost, or I'm sorry, a base. This will be an outpost with there. You're going to have abilities. We won't say the word tap, that you can exhaust the hero, and then he does these abilities, and then, but they'll stay in front of you just like what a base would or something like that. And then, of course, at the end of your turn, they can refresh, which we'll get to that whenever we get to that point. You do start out with a hand. What's interesting about this is that I noticed right off the bat, you will start with a 2 money card in your hand. So that helps you try to get your engine going a little bit faster than what we're used to Star Realms. I thought that was a neat little mechanic. Up here will be the cost of the cards. This is what it gives you, your trash abilities. Man, if you played Star Realms, this game is just going to instantly click with you. So we're going to play out the game, and we'll see how this progresses, and we'll be right back. So one thing that's really important in this game that's kind of unique is that you do have heroes that stay out. And if you notice my opponent, Bill, say hi to everybody. He has a lot more heroes out in front of him than what I do at the moment. And these guys are champions. They'll stay out in front of you at all times, just like what your bases and outposts would. Now, the thing about it is that at the end of your turn, so you're going to basically, like, we're not going to say the word tap, but you're going to, you know, turn these guys over to show that you've used them, okay? And they're going to be spun just like that, okay? Now, at the end of your turn, immediately set them back upright. And then, you know, I would proceed to take my turn. Now, this is an important element in this game because there is a possibility that in the future that these guys, like I could play a card on my turn that could say, no, we're just going to go ahead and make him a little tired right now. Now you've only got 2 that are available. Kind of a cool feature. Basically, it's like I'm taking outposts or bases away from my opponent before they even get a chance to use them. All right, so we are at the end of our match, and Bill is the champion. Do I get a war cry? Oh. He had just way too many of these champions that were out on the table, and I just could not get through them. I was able to keep, you know, destroying these guys and sending them out, but unfortunately he had so many of these that were still stacked up. And he was smart. He bought cheap guys to just kind of stick out there at the beginning of the game, and unfortunately it just overran me, where I was able to get some guys out towards the end, but as you can see, the score wasn't even close. I was 0 to his 42, and it actually could have been more points. We just actually decided just to stop at this stage. But it was a fantastic experience. I had an awful lot of fun. This is so similar to Star Realms in so many ways. I don't know, Bill, what did you think of it all together? Now, you backed this, right?
Yeah, first day back, I really enjoyed it. Played exactly the way I thought it would play. Quick, intuitive, just started playing right from the get-go. Didn't have to take less than 5 minutes.
It didn't take us any time at all to learn it because it was so intuitive because we played Star Realms so many times.
Yep.
Yeah. What would you say, though, compared to Star Realms? If you had this and Star Realms sitting in front of you, what would be probably your game of choice?
I'm a fantasy guy, so I like the fantasy art.
You like the fantasy
It stands
theme.
out. I like playing with wizards, knights, dragons. This would be my go-to.
You're a D&D guy, so that makes sense. Awesome. There you have it, folks. We played the entire game. I definitely approve of this one. If you like the deck building style of Star Realms, but you want a fantasy theme tacked onto it, this is your game. All right, everybody. Well, we just finished the game of Hero Realms, and now I'm here with Rob Dory, and we are going to talk a little bit with him about the game, and we're standing here in front of the big banner at Origins. I had a great time with this game, Rob. I mean, it really brought back the Star Realms. You know, when I first sat down and I played that game, and you know, here's the thing. When I came here and I was going to demo this game, I was thinking, okay, is this going to be Star Realms 2.0 or Epic 2.0? This is really Star Realms 2.0.
Yeah, so this is a Realms game. It's called Hero Realms. It's based on the Star Realms engine. So ever since we first made Star Realms, people have been asking us for a fantasy version. A lot of people like science fiction, but a lot of people love fantasy too. And so people were actually asking for like a fantasy reskin of Star Realms. And we got excited about what we could do in fantasy. We didn't just want to do a reskin. We wanted to make a game based on the Star Realms engine, but there was so much cool new stuff we could do when we were thinking about fantasy that we started with the idea of, okay, let's make a fantasy version of Star Realms, and we took that and we ran with it with a whole bunch of really cool ideas. But we wanted to make sure that the Star Realms player with a base set, that the Star Realms player could get this, sit down and play it and have fun with it. One of the great things about Star Realms is anybody can play it. You can take Star Realms, you're a hardcore gamer, you take Star Realms and you sit down with, you know, someone who doesn't game, and you can show them how to play and they enjoy it. Like pretty much everybody likes to play Star Realms. Whereas some games are a little more for a certain type of gamer, and you might love it, but you like you show it to your brother who doesn't play games, and he's like, this is too complicated, whatever. So with Epic Card Game, we love the Epic Card Game. It's we play it around the office all the time. We've got great organized play stuff for it, but that is a strategy card game designed for people who like strategy card games like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or whatnot. It gives you that full trading card game experience, which also means that if you're a casual player or you're not into the trading card game style play, you're not going to like it. But if you are into that kind of thing, you're going to love it. So with Star Realms, pretty much everybody loves it, and we wanted to take that play experience and give it to people, but we also wanted to expand on it. So what we did is in the base game of Hero Realms, it is based on the Star Realms engine. There's new cards, there's some new mechanics within the factions, but if you know the Star Realms rules and you read the cards, you can just play. It's fast, it's easy, it's a ton of fun.
Now, one thing I noticed that was really interesting in the difference with the Hero Realms is that you did automatically include a card that starts out with 2 gold on it.
Yeah, so the starting decks are a little bit different.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, we wanted a different play pacing. We wanted a different feel when you sat down to play. So we wanted you to know how to play, but we didn't want it to feel old to you. We wanted it to feel new and exciting. And by changing up the starting decks that come in the set, it changes the play dynamic. So you have a ruby in your starting deck, which gives you is worth 2 gold when you play it. This means that you can get up to 6 gold in that first time through your deck, which allows for bigger purchases. Also, the cards in Hero Realms tend to be a little bit harder hitting for their cost than the cards in Star Realms, so the game ramps up a lot more quickly into sort of full power mode, and the combat also has some higher stuff. We've got like a dagger which does 1 damage, but we also have the short sword that does 2. So you're able to do 3 damage with just your starting cards. So some of the smaller permanents, some of the smaller champions can be taken out just with your starting deck cards. So there's a different play feel when you sit down to play from your different starting deck, from the different cards out there. The ratios of cards in the deck are different. There's more of the champions in Hero Realms than there are bases in Star Realms, so you can build up bigger teams easier. The mechanics are the same, but the play feels different, which is really exciting out of the base set. And then we have a whole new world we've opened up with the expansions. So we have character packs. The character packs are going to be $5 each, and you can play as a fighter or a thief or a cleric or a wizard or a ranger. Each of these characters has their own unique starting deck. In their starting deck, they will have cards that no one else has. And these starting decks are more powerful than the base game starting decks. So you want to play the characters against each other, or if you're an experienced player, you can give the newer player a character deck, and you can play with the base game starting deck, and that'll put you at a significant disadvantage to make up for your skill difference. So these characters can be played against each other, and they have, in addition to their different starting decks, they have different health totals. The fighter has a lot more health than the wizard has at the start of the game. Also, they have special ability cards. You have a minor special ability card and a major special ability card that start in play. The minor special ability card you can use once per turn, costs gold to activate. So for example, the Thief has a minor special ability, Pickpocket. So if she activates her Pickpocket, her opponent has to discard a card and she gains health. You also have a major special ability with each character. For example, the Thief has a major special ability, Heist. These major special abilities can only be used once per game, so you have to scrap them, you have to sacrifice them in order to use them, and when you use them, they do something really powerful. For example, the Thief's Heist, when she uses it, she's allowed that turn to buy a card from her opponent's discard pile as if it were in the market.
Oh no!
So she can permanently steal a card from her opponent.
It's horrible.
And, yeah, it can be very nasty. And also, I mean, but every character has different
something nasty like
and
that.
Every character has a really powerful thing that they can do. Obviously, the thief steals for her thing, but you know, and the
Wizard
fighter,
fireball.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, everybody's got a really nasty, cool thing that they can do once per game, and their once per turn ability. So between your different starting health, your different starting deck, and your different special abilities, these characters feel very different to play. So we wanted to make the game asymmetric when you're playing with them, so you're not. It doesn't. Your character and their character are different. You're coming at the game from different angles, but we obviously balance them to play against each other and have it be fair fights. But the really exciting thing is you can also take these characters and play together cooperatively. There are two different ways you can play together. You can, we have boss decks. These are super powerful monster character packs. They have more cards in them. There are 30 cards. They include the starting deck for that monster and special abilities and some new card types as well. Different for each character, different for each monster. We're starting out with a dragon and a lich. These are designed so one player can take on a whole group of people. So there's a group of people playing cooperatively against the one boss, the one monster. So we have those two different boss decks, and you can also play the boss decks against each other if you want to have a super monster fight, which is crazy fun. We also have something called a campaign deck. We have a campaign starter deck that's available in the Kickstarter and will be available at your local store as well. And this gets you started on campaign play. In the campaign play, you and your friends play cooperatively against missions in the game. So the game is automated. You don't need anybody to play the game master role. The game does that for you. And you are trying to complete missions. There'll be monsters to fight. There'll be things you're trying to accomplish during the course of the mission. If you were able to defeat the mission, everybody gets experience points. And then between sessions, you can buy new cards for your character. So you'll be able to improve your character by buying new cards for your deck, new special abilities that stay in play. So there'll be skill and gear cards that you can buy for your character, and each session you'll get experience. Your character will become more powerful and more specialized and custom for you. And then you play the next harder mission. You can also take your characters who have leveled up, and you can play them against each other in sort of side arena battles. And over time, let's say you have a 13-point fighter. Your 13-point fighter is going to be different from somebody else's 13-point fighter because you've chosen different things to buy. So with the campaign deck, this transforms Hero Realms into a campaigning leveling deck building game. So this is very modular. So if you just want to play a Star Realm style game and the cooperative stuff isn't interesting to you, just go ahead and buy that base game. You'll have an awesome fantasy Star Realm style experience with new cards and new play style. If the characters and the campaigning stuff sounds cool to you, you can get those expansions, put that in there, and you get that awesome campaigning, leveling, cooperative deck building game experience.
Now, Star Realms was a 2-player game right out of the box.
Yep.
What will Hero Realms be?
Hero Realms is 4 players right out of the box. So basically, there's a couple pieces of feedback we've gotten from our fans. One is that they love our game, but they don't like our box because it's the Star Realms box, the little tuck box. We came from the card gaming side of things, so we were used to that. But board gamers look at it and say, "Hey, this thing falls apart." So we've got a nicer box for Hero Realms. It's made out of sturdy board game material, and it'll open up. And it's got 2 sections, so it can hold more cards. And there are more cards in the game because we give you enough starting decks and enough of the always available cards for 4 players. So you'll have score cards, starting decks, and the always available cards, enough to support 4 players. So you'll be able to play heads-up games or multiplayer formats like Hunter or Hydra or Free For All right out of that $20 box.
Excellent. One last thing I want to talk about is just the impressive artwork you guys have in your game. I'm looking at the banner even right back here, and then of course I even played the game myself. The artwork is just phenomenal, and I just want to make sure we give due credit where it is, because that dragon up there is just amazing. Between Star Realms, between Epic, Hero Realms, you guys are doing great work.
Yeah. We, Darwin Castle, who is one of our lead designers and developers. He's lead design on Star Realms. He was lead developer on Epic, and he's lead design on Hero Realms. He also does art direction, so he has a great vision of what he wants the worlds to look like, and we work with great artists, and we go through. We give them art briefs, we get back sketches, we request modifications on the sketch, and then we go to the final pieces. And what we're going for is basically the best art possible, the best art in the industry. We try and give a big gameplay experience and big game artwork in a little box at a small amount of money. So we do not skimp on the play, and we don't skimp on the visuals. We try and give you the best possible game we can, and then we take the air out of the package, make it smaller, and charge you less money. That's our mission. That's what we try and do.
Well, I tell you what, right now, currently, I believe I'm ranked number 90 on Star Realms online.
Nice.
As GreyElephant, by all means, send me a challenge if you wish. I have played Star Realms over 3,000 times online, and that's not even close to some of the other people. They're up to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 times. This game, I can tell you guys straight up, Hero Realms, I could see easily me playing that just as many times. I'm really excited about this campaign. I'm probably going to go home and back it immediately. So,
awesome.
Really great job.
We really go for that. You can play a ton. I bought a lot of games which I'm happy with, which I've played maybe a half dozen, a dozen times. But the games we make, we try and make games that you're happy playing hundreds or thousands of times. And you can see on the app statistics that indeed people do play thousands of times.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You will definitely get your money's worth if you buy a White Wizard Games game.
Awesome. Hey, as usual, Rob, I appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.